Okay, so in this video, we will look at the thermal stability and the thermal decomposition of your metal compounds. Okay, most of the time, these metal compounds, we are looking at the carbonates. Okay, but they can also tell you about the hydroxides and the nitrates. Okay, so metal carbonates, they will undergo thermal decomposition. Decompose means one thing break down into a few different things. Okay, general idea, the more reactive, the more difficult it is to decompose. Okay, so my group 1 is the most reactive metals, right? They are thermal stable, they require the most energy to decompose. They actually do not decompose readily. Okay, so explanation, group 1 metals are more reactive. They tend to remain as cations. They form stronger bonds with other elements. It is harder to decompose. Okay, and then good to know as well, group 1 has a smaller charge if I compare to my group 2 metals, right? So if I'm trying to decompose a metal carbonate, all right, the carbonate breaks down into carbon dioxide. Effectively, I'm breaking this bond. So if I have a 2 plus attraction to the O, right, it is much stronger than the 1 plus. So 1 plus, it is harder to attract, harder to break. 2 plus is stronger attraction, easier to decompose. Okay, so metal carbonates, they decompose. By now, we have to know it decomposes to the oxide and the carbon dioxide. Okay, whenever you see a carbonate, CO3, 2 minus, right, it will always think of CO2 in a reaction, and then the left behind will be the oxide. Okay, group 1 metals do not decompose on strong heating. Okay, this carbon dioxide, because it's acidic, I need to remove it immediately, right? Because metal oxide, this is a base. Okay, this is a base. And then this is acidic. So I need to remove it. Otherwise, right, when I heat it and I decompose, it will form back the carbonates. Okay. Metal hydroxides. Okay, metal hydroxides will decompose to the metal oxide and steam. Okay, metal hydroxides are unstable at high temperature, so moderately active ones, right, will form the oxides and steam. Okay, group 1 metal hydroxides are very stable, they do not decompose. So the important idea over here is the group 2 and your group 3 and your transition metals, the hydroxides will decompose to the oxides and steam. Okay, so if I have a CuOH2, the copper hydroxide, it will give me the copper oxide and H2O. Okay, metal nitrates, my NO3 minus, right? Metal nitrates will break down into the oxides, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen gas. Okay, NO2 is a brown pungent gas. Okay, so group 1 nitrates are stable. Generally, if they decompose, they will decompose to the nitrite. So one oxygen less than the nitrate and oxygen. So group 1, it will break down to the nitrite, ITE, and oxygen. And then same thing, my group 2, group 3, and transition metals nitrate will break down to the oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. Okay, metal oxides are generally unreactive metals are generally uncombined, but if they react, right, they will decompose to just the pure metal and oxygen. Okay, so sometimes they will ask us the observations of your decomposition reaction, or even if, for example, a more reactive metal reduces the less reactive metal oxide. Okay, so some of the observations, right, we have to know group 1 and your calcium carbonate, this is unaffected by heat. Sorry, so this one is your group 1, this is not calcium, this is sodium. Please, we have to know this. Okay, group 1 are unaffected because they are thermal stable. They don't break down to the carbon dioxide and the metal oxide. So I have my group 2 and group 3, they will break down to the metal oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, metal oxides are generally white. Okay, only your transition metals, the metal oxides will have a color. So my zinc carbonate, we know yellow is hot, white when cool. Okay, my iron carbonate is just black, whether is it iron 2 or iron 3 is just black. My lead 2 carbonate, okay, when it's hot it's orange, and it cool down is yellow. Okay, and my copper oxide is black. So colors, same thing as your QA, no choice, we have to memorize it. Mainly these two is very important, the rest is just black.